So Wuthering Waves has some pretty exciting news, but also it has kind of been ruined by one certain community. Now if you don't know, Wuthering Waves is gearing up for their 2.0 release, which is rinascita, which a ton of people are very excited for, and I think during all of this promotion and everything like that, well, they've gotten kind of involved with the Game Awards. If you don't know what the Game Awards are, it's pretty much a show which is going on the 12th of December, and a ton of games show off a ton of trailers, win awards, and pretty much stuff like that. It's pretty much one big promotion fest, which does contain some, awards and stuff like that. Now, I do think that Wuthering Waves is going to utilize this. They're going to buy a lot of slots for trailers and stuff like that so that they can actually advertise their game more, and maybe even tease us with some new stuff coming to the update. But obviously, if you've seen, Wuthering Waves actually got nominated for Best Mobile Game, which again is absolutely amazing, and it seems like they're in the lead with a lot of kind of stuff hinting towards that. But the big problem that people had with Wuthering Waves being nominated for the Mobile Game of the Year award was that it's actually a 90-10 split, I'm pretty sure, where pretty much the panel that is kind of judging this stuff actually has way more of a say than the people, so even if you did go and vote, it didn't really matter what's going on. But just recently, the Game Awards dropped some new information about another award which Wuthering Waves could potentially win, and it's 100% player voted. So in this video, we're going to be covering all of that and including some kind of stuff to do with r/GachaGaming and how they're being very biased towards this kind of award and, kind of just downplaying the kind of stuff that Wuthering Waves has done over the past couple of months. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go to my Twitch where I'm going to be live. I definitely recommend going over there. It'll be down in the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Again, just go over there, give me a follow, and you get notified as soon as I go live. But let's get back into the video. So this is the first post from the Wuthering Waves developer team, which says, "Dear Rovers, your voices have resonated with us, and now we're here. After becoming a finalist for Best Mobile Game, Wuthering Waves has been nominated for Player's Voice at the Game Awards 2024. Join us on this journey and vote for us through the link below." And then the Game Awards obviously made a post about this saying congratulations on your Player's Voice nomination, which again is amazing, and there's a lot of people very happy about this. Now, obviously, if we go to the actual Player's Voice page on the Game Awards thing, I've already done my votes. I actually did them on stream. Now, obviously, there's a ton of really cool games. This isn't just out of mobile games. This isn't just out of gacha games or anything like that. This is literally out of every game ever. It doesn't have to be new. It can be old and things like that. Now, there is 3 gacha games that got nominated. I'll go down here. We got Genshin Impact, which this time I didn't vote for. I think I did vote for them last time, but I just don't think they've done enough with Natland to actually deserve my vote. And I think a lot of these other games have actually had a better kind of year in terms of getting the community involved and just bringing out some really, really good updates, or, depending on if they're live service or not. Obviously, some of them are. And then if you keep going, there's Wuthering Waves, which again, we've mentioned. It's posted on the page, and thank God they didn't call it Wuthering Waves this time. And also we got Zenless Zone Zero, which I also voted for because I think they did have a pretty good, past few months, especially since release. I think they both have done very well. And then I also voted for some other ones, including like Persona, Stellar Blade, and some other ones, just to kind of, fill it up. But the main one, we're focusing on is the gacha games. Now, obviously, this is really, really good because this means there's 100% fan voted, and this means that any game could kind of go up. Now, obviously, there is some really, really big contenders like Black Myth Wukong and other games that did really well this year, meaning that, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, or Genshin Impact could get knocked out pretty easily. But let's just remember the last TGA Players Voice Awards, Genshin Impact actually won, and we had that whole thing against the Sonic fandom, which there is actually a Sonic game in here. So again, it's going to be very interesting to see how those two go against each other. But it's pretty much a whole thing of just who has the bigger community and things like that, and who can actually rally their community behind and just kind of get them the votes that they need to go through. It doesn't necessarily have to be a good game, they just have to have a big community behind it, which Genshin Impact had last year. So it's going to be interesting to see if Genshin Impact do it this year, or if Wuthering Waves or someone else can do it. Now, do I think that Wuthering Waves has a chance of winning this Players Voice Awards award? I don't really think they do. I honestly think there is some bigger communities out there which will probably outbeat Wuthering Waves, unfortunately, as much as I'd like them to win it. But I do think they do stand a chance of still winning the Mobile Game Award, just because of how well they've been doing and the kind of competition that they're up against. Now, obviously, on r/GachaGaming, I have talked about them a couple of times, especially in previous videos, how we talked about that whole thing around the Tencent acquisition of some more shares in Wuthering Waves and Kuro Games. But this is something to do with the TGA Players Voice Awards. Now, this seems like a pretty normal post, right? They've got a link to it saying Genshin, wuwa, and ZZZ are in it, which again, pretty normal. But if we go to the Gacha moderator comment here, they say the previous discussion post regarding the Game Awards Players Voice Awards voting has been removed in favor of this one, due to both the conduct of members in the comments and the title not appropriately representing all gacha games included in the list of nominees. This subreddit is intended to be a neutral community space for fans of all gacha games, and post titles are expected to also follow these guidelines. Please be reminded that the comments will be continued to be monitored, and those breaking our Rule 1 guideline could be subject to moderative action at the team's discretion. So again, actually GachaGaming moderator W here for once. It seems like, you know, they're actually taking action against some of these people being very, very biased against Wuthering Waves. Now, I actually have the old post up here, which pretty much, it says the same thing, except they just say Genshin and ZZZ is in it. I mean, if that doesn't prove how much of an agenda a lot of these members do have against Wuthering Waves, I don't know what will. And honestly, it just goes on throughout the comment section as well. We got a lot of people, you know, commenting stuff like, oh, I'm going to be voting for ZZZ and Genshin, and purposely leaving out wuwa, because obviously it's a big kind of topic in the comments, and they've just kind of left out wuwa because people realize, oh, they're kind of taking a jab at Wuthering Waves there, because, you know, they've only said they're voting for Genshin and ZZZ. So again, it's just like, okay, it's just a little bit weird that these communities kind of exist and that they're just like being so negative towards Wuthering Waves for like absolutely no reason. Like, honestly, I don't know why these people are so negative towards it, apart from the fact that maybe, you know, they really like Hoyoverse and they don't want it to beat Hoyoverse, which I don't think it will, you know? I know there's a lot of talk of people being like, oh, Wuthering Waves is going to be the next Genshin killer and stuff like that, and they said the same with a lot of other previous games as well. But let's just be real, that's not going to happen, you know? Genshin Impact, Hoyoverse are doing very well for themselves, they're still making way more revenue than a lot of gacha games, and Wuthering Waves is definitely not going to catch up anytime soon, unless rinascita brings out one of the most insane updates I've ever seen of my entire life. Now obviously there was a couple people as well who shared some of their votes, which again just kind of proves overall bias again. They said, my vote plus ZZZ. I fully expect both Hoyo games not to win it. I just want to see them advance, to see the drama from gaming purists and haters. And then this was the screenshot that they put up. So pretty much they only voted for 7 games, and then they missed out on like Wuthering Waves. Like, it makes no sense. But again, I guess if they didn't like Wuthering Waves, that's fine. But it does seem like a lot of these comments just are very negative towards Wuthering Waves. And I did see a couple of them which were saying that, you know, they're not going to reach it, or I'm not voting for them because they didn't deserve it. Like, it is really, really weird that this stuff is going on. Now, it is good that they've actually included Wuthering Waves in the new post now, and that the Gacha moderators have actually moved the discussion over here and just deleted the old one, because again, it just seems like very biased, and this is just something that's been going on in r/GachaGaming since it probably came out, to be honest. Well, since Wuthering Waves came out, at least. It seems like they just have this whole thing of like, we hate Wuthering Waves and Kuro games for some reason. I don't know why, but it is really weird. And also, let's just remember that this actual post is put up by someone else. Now, they seem to be pretty involved in the Wuthering Waves community as well, so again, that's pretty good, and I feel like they are a little bit more neutral whenever it comes to that kind of stuff. Whereas if we look at the previous post of the old one, well, you know, they hang out in the Honkai Staro, Genshin Impact Leaks subreddit, by the way. So, you know, Hoyoverse, get his ass. Yeah, they say, ah yes, Gathering Wives. It seems like they're talking about Wuthering Waves in a Genshin Impact server, so you get what's going on here. Again, Zelazone Zero leaks. Bro, this guy, oh my god, I didn't even realize how much leaks he covered, bro. Okay, yeah, but pretty much only r/GachaGaming, Zelazone Zero, Genshin Impact, Honkai Staro, stuff like that, kind of, you know, posts and things like that. You could just argue that those are just their favorite games, and maybe Wuthering Waves wasn't included because, you know, they just don't play it. But at the same time, I think if you're making a post like that, talking about, you know, the player's voice, even though I actually made a tweet like a couple of days ago talking about that I actually uninstalled Zelazone Zero, I still include Zelazone Zero in a lot of my videos, in a lot of my posts and things like that, because I do acknowledge it's still a big gacha game that is being compared by a lot of people, and it's still, you know, it's still a gacha game that is included in this big game awards thing, which is a very, very important thing, and I still acknowledge all the other games that are in there. And I said the same with the mobile game awards as well. I still acknowledge like AFK Journey and other games, despite me never even playing the game. You know, you still got to acknowledge the kind of where they've gotten to, despite playing the game or not. And I think it's just kind of a dumb argument to be like, well, I don't play the game, so you know, I didn't put it in there. Like, no, you're literally on r/GachaGaming. Put all the gacha games in the title. But yeah, that's just something that kind of annoyed me. But at the same time, it is really good that Wuthering Waves have actually been included in this. Hopefully they can get through to the next round. And obviously go vote if you haven't voted for this already. And yeah, that's about all I got for this video. So if you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go over to my Twitch. Again, I'll be streaming a ton of stuff over there. I definitely recommend coming to go check it out. And yeah, it'll be down the link in the description below or down in the pinned comment as well. So I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.